So like with the Insidious movies, I decided to watch the whole Jurassic Park trilogy before going to see this film. And like with the Insidious movies, the last two films didn't really matter that much. That's lovely for me. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my apartment, and today I'm talking about the first big summer blockbuster, which is predicted to be a blockbuster, and that is Jurassic World. This is the long-awaited revamp of the Jurassic Park franchise, and it will probably get at least a couple sequels added on to this movie, which is obviously going to just blow up the box office this weekend. Chris Pratt is taking a break from saving the galaxy to kind of wrangle up some raptors in this film. He is the star of this movie, and he is this raptor tamer. He is someone who works at Jurassic World and has been training the raptors. He is the alpha to their little herd, and it's really interesting to see his relationship with them and his contact with them in regards to just them following his orders, him knowing how to control them. And there's a scene right at the really early parts of the film where he is in a cage with them and he's just holding them back, and you see this in the trailer a little bit. They are obedient to him, they want to eat him, but they will listen to him. It's just kind of a cool way of doing that. But he is also being Chris Pratt. He has a lot of witty lines, which are just hilarious throughout the course of this film, and they work because he's Chris Pratt. He knows how to deliver these lines so that they're not obscenely cheesy, and they're just hilarious, and it just works really well. And he does a really good job in this role. I really enjoyed seeing him on screen. He's a badass most of the time. It's really, really neat. Bryce Dallas Howard, she is kind of the opposite of Chris Pratt's role. She is the scientist who is part of the reason that this giant new breed of dinosaur is created, and she has kind of an opposite philosophy of Chris Pratt. He sees these creatures as living animals who are smart and versatile and should be treated with respect. She just sees them as animals, not intelligent whatsoever, below her, and it's kind of interesting to see their dynamic kind of play out. With that, get into one of my negatives about the movie. It starts out with a lot of kind of basic stereotypes for this type of situation, where it's like, oh, we've created this thing, which is very powerful. Oh wait, it goes against nature, it breaks out. Guess what's going to happen? So with that, a lot of the characters that are introduced throughout this film fall into very typical stereotypes for this type of movie. We have Chris Pratt, who is caring about these animals. He sees them as creatures that should be respected and held up with authority. And then we have a character who wants to use them to strengthen the military and use them in a military setting. We have someone who just sees them as animals, nothing more than that, nothing less. We have just a lot of stereotypes. We have this angsty teenager, which bugged the hell out of me for the first half hour of the film, because it's just so overdone. It just annoyed the hell out of me, and I really don't like seeing characters like that, because it just kind of bugs me when they just treat someone who they're supposed to be nice to with utter disrespect, and it's just, it bugs the hell out of me, even in real life. So that character, you'll see him instantly in the film. It just kind of bugged me a little bit. So yeah, those stereotypes, they are used for the first couple minutes, or at least the first half hour of this film, before all the chaos begins to happen. Then they kind of simmer down into the general roles that you would see for this film, which is fine when that happens. I can enjoy it, and they kind of get into the more action-y parts, but it bugged me for the first half hour. Vincent D'Onofrio, who I first saw in Daredevil, Netflix series, he is in this film. He plays someone who wants to use the raptors for military gains, and he is part of the organization that is kind of in charge of creating all these animals, which I cannot remember the name of off the top of my head. He shows up. He is one of the characters who I kind of got bugged by quite a bit throughout the film, but he does do a really nice job with the acting performance. He showed that he can act really well in Daredevil, so he really does deliver well here as well. And then kind of the surprise edition, which I didn't see in any of the trailers. I didn't watch a lot of the trailers, so maybe that's why. But Jake Johnson from New Girl and from Let's Be Cops, he is in this film, and he is easily one of the more funny parts of the film, because he kind of plays the standard character that he's assigned to, and it's just hilarious a lot of times when he's on screen, just this various interactions with different characters and his just expressions when certain things happen. So he was a pleasure to see in this film and did not bug me at all. So I really liked seeing him. All these dinosaurs as well, they look really, really good. They're all CGI as far as I know at this point. That's where the technology has gone. It's not going to be these animatronic robots anymore. It is all CGI, and it does look really, really nice. There is a scene where it's kind of a close-up with one of the animals, and you have two characters kind of just touching it. I don't know if that's kind of animatronic. I would guess, because there's like shadows and stuff, and it all looks very realistic. If that's CGI, it looks fantastic. But my guess is that's animatronic. But regardless, all the dinosaurs in this film, they look really, really cool. The T-Rex, the main badass dinosaur. We have the, I'm butchering these names, I'm not going to even try. They have the flying ones, they have the Brontosaurus, they have the Triceratops, they have all these things, which are looking really, really neat. There also seem to be a few cameos throughout this film. The main one that comes to my attention is Jimmy Fallon. He has a small cameo, which is quite funny, I think. I enjoy Jimmy Fallon's stuff. But he is in this film for a short amount of time. He has a cameo. There's a few other actors which have cameos here or there. That was kind of an entertaining feature just because this film could have been dead serious. Oh, things are going to hell and we need to be serious. No, they have time to kind of make fun of themselves and call out kind of ridiculous situations at times. That's really neat. Something which kind of kept coming to my attention as I was watching the film, though, is the fact that this film has a lot of kind of cheesy lines or cheesy moments which happen just kind of throughout it that you just kind of have to let go when you're watching it, because this is the realm of unrealisticness and it would never happen. So a lot of situations which happen and some lines which happen, they're incredibly cheesy and a little predictable, but I enjoy them. I was able to kind of let them go. There are some more cheesy parts, mainly towards the end of the film, actually, which is kind of a bummer. I did enjoy the ending, but there is just a part where it's like, really? The main dinosaur in this film, which is the villain of the movie, looks fantastic, though you kind of are kept in suspense as to what it looks like when it's first being talked about and kind of shown on screen. And then you get to learn more and more about its abilities, and it's just a huge force to be dealt with. And I really enjoyed seeing this creature in the flesh, and it just looks incredibly badass throughout this film in terms of how well it can fight and kind of just knowing things about it. It just makes it really, really cool. And it's a formidable beast, if there ever was one. The film is a little bit long, though. By the time I got to the ending, I was kind of like, is it done yet? Nope, you're going to have that come back. Okay. Nope, is it done? Nope, nope. More is happening. That's a thing. So it was a little bit long. It kind of went longer than I wanted to, thus a little long. It does, though, kind of set up something of a sequel. It doesn't like directly hint, oh hey, sequel in 2-3 years. No, it's just kind of something that happens, kind of similar to Jurassic Park, the original one, where like the can of shaving cream is just like lost, and it's like, oh, what could happen if it's found? It's kind of a similar situation to that. Not quite as mysterious, but I'm pretty sure that what happens in this film is going to kind of be the setup for Jurassic World 2 or whatever they decide to call it. But yeah, overall, I really did enjoy this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought most of the characters, once they kind of escaped their stereotypical roles and got to be half-decent human beings, were actually kind of fun to watch. And I thought everyone did really good in their performances in this movie. Chris Pratt really brought out his best A-game in this film. I always enjoy seeing him on screen now with Guardians of the Galaxy, and now this. He is just blowing things away. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Definitely go check this out if you are a fan of dinosaurs or Jurassic Park in any way. It is really, really good, and I really did enjoy it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like the movie as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.